Welcome to the first episode of NaytonTech's Civic truck conversion. Let's actually go over the car real quick. I'm going to try to do a blog and record this whole thing, top to bottom, all the struggles, everything that I go through on this build. Bodywork and welding, things like that are not necessarily my forte, but I have, some practice with some of the stuff, so this is going to be a big learning experience for me. What works, what doesn't. Might have to redo some stuff. If you guys have any suggestions on things that I will need to be doing, these videos are going to be coming out hopefully every week now that weather's starting to get better. And if you guys have any suggestions on things that I should be doing or could be doing better, definitely post them in the comments. I do check all of those. So today I'm going to kind of go over the car, what the basic plan is, and we're going to get some of the car cleaned out. So let's hop over to what the car is. It's an 88 Civic Sedan DX, so no power or anything. It does have some work done to it already, not for the truck side, but motor and stuff like that. So let's hop over and check that out. This is the 88 Civic Sedan that we are going to be doing a full truck conversion on. It was originally the blue, as you see here, no power anything. It does have a high compression B18 B1. Not too much else on it. I believe it's a 9091 LS transmission. Just got innovative mounts already. I don't remember the shift linkage. I think it's just a DA or an EG that's been converted, or maybe some DC ones that have been welded and extended or shortened. I'll probably end up ordering a set of innovatives for it just so that it's fresh. I do not know what injectors. I got a lot of stuff to go through on the motor, so it'll most likely come out before we fire this guy up, because I am going to be painting the bay once the bodywork is done. It does have a innovative mounts pro traction bar already on there, so nice plus there. I do have a lot of suspension stuff to do. It does need new fenders, as you can tell. The body, though, as far as like fenders, quarter panels, stuff like that, is pretty clean. The roof does have a roof rack, which will be coming off because the truck is only going to be going to about somewhere in this area is where I'm actually going to be cutting it, and kind of going straight down. Basically, my plan is to cut it as short as possible to where I can still sit in the cab, in the seat, and still have a little bit of room for the seat to kind of tilt back and stuff like that. Our focus today is to get all of this organized, cleaned out, thrown away, whatever I'm not keeping. I've got a couple bumpers, B20 block, which has cracked cylinder walls. Probably just pull the crank out of it and toss the rest. Turbo manifold, which I may use on this motor, we'll see. Suspension, I believe I've got different suspension I can use, so I may not be doing anything there. It's got a B&M short shifter. I've got an AEM 340 liter per hour pump that'll go back in here. I do have, and as long as it's not too messed up and I can make it work, that window is a Del Sol power window, rear window. So I'm actually, my goal would be to get that to work as the back window of the truck. So the dash is going to be replaced. This is the one that I actually cut this piece out of so that I could get the left vent pod created. But the dash will be coming out. I'll be replacing with a new one. These gauges are my buddy's, the one I bought the car from, and he's wanting those back, so I'll be buying new gauges for this. So we're gonna get started on this, just getting it cleaned out. I don't know what's in the trunk. I think so. I got an LS head, LS intake manifold, couple front camber arms, which I will probably use on this because these ones are messed up and I can barely move it without them popping out. An axle, half shaft. So yes, this is going to be the truck. It does have a 9091 taillight conversion, which I'm going to leave because I love those taillights over the 8889s. The wheels are actually going to be the same as on Suki, which are the XXR 531s. They are 16 by 8 with a plus 20 offset. I'm running the exact same wheels and tires on truck. Truck's name is Sokka, so if you guys are familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender, Suki and Sokka are a couple, and since I'm a big fan of that show, that's what they are going to be named. So they'll be twins for the most part. Sokka is going to be a little more blue because he was Water Tribe, and Suki is going to have some kind of darker green accents. Both of them will be kind of a gunmetalish gray, maybe a little lighter. But as far as the accents go, there'll be just a little bit of green just to kind of define them, like headliner stuff and whatever. So let's go ahead and get this guy cleaned out and see what we need to do next time. Actually the plan, so once I get it cleaned out and get some of the what do you call it, like sound deadening, the factory sound deadening material out, we're actually, the car is going to go over to a buddy's who's going to help me build kind of like a, it's not necessarily a roll cage. I guess I want to do more of a tube frame, but it's actually, the tube frame is going to go up over the B-pillar and down, maybe a cross brace, something that's not going to block the back window. And then I'm going to do a brace that goes from the cover, the roll cage is going to go from about here all the way back to the upper wheel well, and then another one that goes from same point down to the bottom of the door. So we're going to build some bracing so that once I do cut the roof off, the car already has the tube frame and the structure to kind of hold the car together, just for some extra, rigidity and stuff like that. I'm trying to keep it all hidden, so once I get the bed done and whatnot, you actually aren't going to be seeing the tube frame. I want it to look more like just not just a normal truck bed, because it's going to have some custom stuff done, and we'll be kind of going over that as we get to that point. But that is the plan for the next couple episodes. Get her cleaned out, probably do a little time lapse here of me cleaning it out, and see if we can get it ready to go get the tube frame done. These are two of the pieces that I have to find a way to mount to the rear frame of the truck for that rear Del Sol window. These are aluminum, I can't weld them in. It's going to be fun. Luckily they've got a bunch of little holes, so these will be bolt in and probably sealed a lot. if you're wondering why I'm taking such basically a clean shell and converting it to a truck, or at least attempting it, previous owner had some issues with the truck, a lot of wiring type stuff, which I'm pretty much just going to get a whole new harness, and I'm planning on converting to a full LX or EX harness, so I can get the power windows for the front and also use one of the power window switches for this Del Sol rear window, which my goal is, since I have the full harness, is to actually make it so that I have rear defrost and power rear window. That's the plan. The reason why the shell is getting turned into a truck is because the previous owner was planning on scrapping the shell and wanted to keep his fuel pump for one of his other cars, so he just cut the hole for the fuel pump to get it out easier instead of dropping the tank. So we're going to end up building the bed and stuff over this. I may kind of reseal that a little bit. We shall see, or maybe I'll kind of fancy it up a little bit and make it to where I can get to the pump easy myself as well. So anyway, that's the main reason. I also got the shell for $100 from him instead of sending it to the junkyard or scrap or wherever he was going to send it. So we're gonna bring it back, I hope. A few more things to take out. Seats obviously are not staying. The plan for the bed, so let's see if you guys can see this here. Anyway, we've got the truck's going to come down, you know, the back of the cab is going to come down, and once I get to somewhere around this range, I'm actually just going to 45 in and connect here at the front, where kind of the front of the back seat is. This will allow me to keep the wiring, or not the wiring, but the e-brake cables and stuff like that inside the cab, so I don't have to build something to go over them and seal them and all that kind of stuff. I'll probably end up doing the wiring for the fuel sender, and the tank will probably actually punch through here instead of trying to come out. So I'll probably end up sealing this hole, but you know, it'll, instead of coming out and trying to go back in, it'll actually pop in from under. Probably make it easier on myself there. The only other couple things, and I may end up redoing these lines since these are the fuel lines, and maybe a brake line. It's been a while since I've looked at what these three lines are, but I might try to run those a little differently as well, or find a, I don't really want to try to cover them because stuff usually just gets stuck in there. So a few things I might have to reroute, nothing major, but then we'll start cutting everything up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I got a little bit more cleaning to do, and we'll go from there. So somehow I did not get on camera, but I just closed one of the back doors and the whole rear window fell off of the trunk. Somehow I did not break the glass. Thank God. Anyway, let's get back to cleaning. got everything out. So definitely still have a lot of cleaning. I'll get the ShopVac out here in a minute. Clean up the carpet. I'll end up pulling the carpet out because we're going to be welding right down here and right over there. And then I'm going to have to figure out a way to get this sound deadening material, because I'm going to go somewhere right up in this area for the top tube frame, and then we got to go somewhere down here for the lower one. And I got to figure out how we're going to do that. I kind of want to keep it inside the door panel or the door frame. So yeah, it's going to be fun to kind of make that work. The trunk's cleaned out. Looks like somebody already ran some power wire back to the back, which I will be redoing with some aught gauge most likely. Probably won't keep the strut bar because it's going to interfere with putting stuff in the truck bed. Alright, well, she's clean out. Didn't really have to vacuum it, but I didn't want to put a whole bunch of stuff all over the ground here when I pulled the carpet out. So I figured let's just do a quick vacuum. Same thing in the trunk, which is going to be the bed eventually. Just vacuumed all that out just so there's no crap and stuff all over. That way when I start working, I don't have stuff all over. Still a little bit of dust and plastic, like sawdust kind of stuff up on the dash, but I'll get that here in a bit. Dash probably won't be coming out today. Actually, I think I'm going to call it for the day, and we'll possibly get some more work done later. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on episode 2 of NaytonTech's Civic truck build. Saka.